Hello, viewers. Welcome to our podcast once again. With me in the studio is Cephas Chimedza. Cephas, my brother,
I'm
how are
doing
you?
fine, Coach Donald. How's everything that side?
Hey, things are fine. It's only that my inbox is full because of the our last episode.
Yeah, it's good to know that people are enjoying it and taking some things from it and having discussions. So it shows that we are doing something good.
I understand. I understand. Yeah, because actually you made some, some good points. And again, from the last discussion, it was like me against you, especially on the issue of referring players
Yeah.
to the previous class. So like people were saying now you're pushing the Zimbabwean mentality. I'm the one who is pushing the Zimbabwean mentality now to players abroad. But I was like Cephas on that issue. I was like, there's nothing bad in if you have got the connections in networking. It's not corruption per se if you have got a player and you know the scout, right? Then you just say to the scout, can you look at this player? I mean, in the football, we have got such stories. For example, even Benji, right? Remember when Benji was playing in Auxerre? It was Wenger who saw him, right? Then he recommended
Yeah,
him
something
to
along
Harry.
those lines. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's nothing corrupt. It's not like corruption. It's like you've seen someone, then you recommend. On your point, on the last point that you made, I mean, I thought I had to go with lots of homework and say, but there's nothing sinister.
No,
What do you
there's
say
nothing
about
sinister,
that?
but then the thing is, it depends with your position where you are. Then it makes it much
Okay.
easier.
Yeah, it makes it much easier, and it's not like we're saying
Yeah.
ex-players they should go out of their way to do that. Otherwise, they'll be embarrassing themselves, at times if they want to. Yeah, I understand. Well, and also time was not on our side, so maybe since you have played in Belgium, how are things pertaining racism in
I think
European leagues?
in Belgium they've done well to combat racism, especially in football. But it doesn't mean that there is no racism. There will be those odd moments when something happens, but then they will try as much as they can to deal with it. I remember one time after a match against one team, I was having an interview, a post-match interview on the field, and then there were some people standing just across me doing some monkey movements and monkey sounds. I even asked the guy who was interviewing me, like, "Do you see that?" And then he was just like, "Yeah, I see it, but let's ignore them." It would be things along those lines, like,
Yeah,
how do
yeah,
they
yeah,
want to
yeah.
deal with it? How much are they putting the racism issues out in the public? But they try their best to make the players of color feel comfortable. Yeah.
And so, like, how is it like with other European leagues that surround
And
Belgian
there
league?
are certain leagues that you can see it on TV where the supporters are really making those monkey noises, and then you hear the federations kind of defending. The biggest problem is that in a lot of leagues, racism issues are dealt by, let's say, white people. You will be thinking like, how can you deal with a racist issue when you are white? You have never been affected by it. When I
Yeah,
was
yeah, yeah, yeah.
just playing for fun after my professional playing days, I went to play one match. Someone racially abused me, and then I really kicked him. When we had when there was a ball, then I really went hard on him. So I was sent off, but then
Yeah.
the matter had to go before a committee. When I went before the committee, the
Okay.
chairman of the committee said to me, "But that's not what he meant." I was like, "What do you mean that's not what he
Mm.
meant?" So you see, it's already a matter
Yeah.
of the people who are dealing with the racist situations. They might also have that racial element in them. Yeah. So if you look at the
Element.
leagues like Spain, like Italy, it happens, and the punishments are really like laughable.
Yeah, yeah, there's Steve. Yeah, yeah. Then I had a colleague who told me that if you see racism, you're also a racist. So I don't know because the times he's saying there's some action probably maybe
Sorry,
that
Coach
are
Donald. May you come
genuine.
again? It was reconnecting. I did not get it.
Yeah. Okay. So you were saying like there are some issues where if you see racism, then you are also a racist because there are some maybe like genuine intentions, right? Not to meant to segregate you, But because you are in that mode where like racism is at the back of your mind, you maybe you're also racist. So you are saying, well, if you see that, then which means also you yourself or you racist. That's what
Or
you were
sometimes
saying.
it's just a matter of you would have experienced the racism before, so you'll be on high alert that if something is said, if something happens, then direct you are thinking that's racism because you would have experienced it before.
Oh, I see, I see. No, 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 that makes sense. Yeah, because I mean, I'm glad we had to talk about that because I had
Excuse
to
me,
make sure that
is it
we
is it
start with
possible
that
to
because
pause a
it
bit
links.
my volume?
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, no, it's fine. We can just take a minute. It's okay. Yeah. Okay, so guys, Cephas will be back. Then we continue. So we're talking about racism in Belgium, and we just a recap from the previous episode that we had last week. Okay, so Cephas, you back. You
Yeah, I
were
was just
saying.
talking about how different people deal with the racism and stuff, because some, like I've said, they would have experienced the racism before. So any small element, it triggers them. Sometimes you look, for example, with Vini Jr. at Real Madrid. He is easily touched by it because he has experienced it before. Sometimes we call him like, he's acting too much, why it's only him, but it's because sometimes he understands how it feels and stuff and stuff.
Oh, I see, I see. Did you go to Algeria when we played Algeria? Remember that
Yeah,
match that was
I
two
played. I
two
played in
or
that
like
match where we played 2-2.
you played there? Yeah, yeah. And what I gathered from that match was that when Shingi scored, he had to celebrate like a monkey. It was like he was retaliating to the racial chant that were being
I
done
think
by the supporters.
a lot of people don't know how terrible it was at that match, the racism, because what had happened is that
Mm.
Algeria was kind of banned, I can say, by CAF to play their home games in their capital city because of racist incident. So we were sent to we had to play
Mm.
the match in another city. But in that city, it was not normal. It felt as if they've never seen black people.
Mm.
So from the moment we
A black
entered
guy.
the field, it was at first you just think is that hostile environment, hostile reception. You don't uh, you don't think about it. You are just like,
Yeah.
come on, guys, we can be strong here. So it started when during the warming up, and then our goalkeepers were doing one kind of exercise where they had to bend over and do jumping. And then when they started doing it, they were like really crazy monkey sounds in there. And then later on,
Yeah.
Shingi got injured towards the end of the first half. And then the coaches Charles Flower
Oh,
and
okay.
Moses Strunga said, Cephas, you are going to come in. We are going to change our how we are playing our shape. So as I was about to go back on the field to do my warming up during halftime, the
Mm.
the Algerian officials said, you can't
Mm.
go on the field like that. We cannot guarantee your safety when you will be alone and things like that. So I had to do my warm up and down the stairs of the dressing room because it was that bad in Algeria.
Mm.
Yeah.
Wow. And how did the team manage to come out with a draw under such
I
hostile
think
conditions?
what happened is that our team had a lot of experienced guys. You had guys who had kind of seen it.
Let's see.
So the hostility kind of pushed us to do more, to be like, no, we have to shut them. We have to make sure that they are quiet. So we kept on pushing because if you remember, Peter equalized towards the end of the game. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes.
yeah.
I'll tell you that
So
move. I
if you
still
look
remember
back,
it. So what happened? What happened? Wait,
yeah,
wait. I want to show you that I remember that match. So what happened is Benji made
yeah,
the run inside the box with a player.
yes,
Then the player followed Benji. Then there was space. Then Peter
yeah,
strike a thunderbolt. Then he
yes,
ran
to
to
celebrate.
Capini
Yeah,
to
it
celebrate.
was like that.
I'll never
So
forget that match.
if you look back
Okay,
over
go
the
on.
years, you go to play against a team like Algeria, of
Mm,
a team of that caliber, then you know that once they score to make it 2-1 towards the end, it will be almost done for Zim. But then in that match, we were thinking like, no,
mm, mm.
we cannot be up against racism and then lose the game again. So we did give, yeah. We can, yeah,
I know we can't, yes.
yeah,
We need to
yeah,
beat
exactly.
racism and beat the team at the same time. Yes. But like I always wonder why CAF. I don't know whether it's CAF that should take care of that or FIFA. But like those guys, they're not sanctioned that much. And because if you look at it, when they come to our side, we give them, a good treatment. But it's the opposite when we go the other side. I remember when Sundowns went to
Yeah,
play their Champions League
yeah,
in Egypt. There were these lights. Imagine like
yeah, yeah.
Onyango was complaining that, his eyes were hurting because of. Why can't FIFA put a stop to
I
that?
think it's just a matter of how passionate some fans are in other countries. You know, in Zim we have our passionate fans, but then it's in the stadium during a match. Then they are showing their colors and stuff and stuff. I don't think
Yes.
there are any fans in Zim that are willing to be like a Friday night, Saturday night. We will be at a hotel where another team is camping, making noise there. You know, there are
Mm.
certain countries where you go and they are not sleeping. There are fireworks all over out of
Wow.
your hotel room. From the moment you get out of the hotel room to go
Yeah.
on the bus to go for a match, it's really crazy out there. So I
Yeah.
don't think FIFA can do much about fans who are not in the stadium.
But like when it interferes now with play, it becomes the fair play thing is now defeated now because these guys now have an added advantage. One of the fans, two of the distractions that they are
If you
putting into
ask
the
me,
game.
that's what makes football interesting, especially when you are going away. Then you are thinking, okay, we are going to this away match. Oh, it's going to be tough.
Yeah.
From the word go, when we arrive there, it's going to be really like for the strong-hearted players here. That's when it breaks or makes a player. Like for example, if we look at the derby in
Yeah.
Argentina between Boca Juniors and the River Plate. If you play in that match, you are really like, okay,
Nah,
yeah,
yeah, but it's crazy. I mean, like, there's a match I attended. It was during this introduction of the vuvuzelas. I was a neutral, but I happened to be in the stadium. Yeah, it was a bad experience. I mean, imagine if it was a bad experience for me in the terrace. What more for someone who is playing? Because you need you need to concentrate. You don't need distraction. Imagine like the sound of the vuvuzela, in your ears, and you want to concentrate with your game. Cephas,
you as
it's
a
a lot to
player,
take
when you are on the field, you have to have that ability to block out those noises and concentrate on your game. Yeah, yeah,
and concentrate. And like, I mean, this happens with our own
yeah,
supporters. They
yeah,
whistle a lot.
yeah.
Like when you make a mistake. So when players are in the dressing room, they'll kind of talk to a player who is being whistled to. What do you guys do
It
to that
depends with
player?
at which moment it has happened. Okay, there are moments when it's during the first half, you come in for halftime, then you just have to say to him, if he's coming back on the pitch, you are like, come on, dude, get yourself together. You are better than this because you are still that good player who has been playing all this time. Yeah, come in. You
Yeah,
go back in second half, one move, and they love you again. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. If you deliver,
Exactly,
then you
exactly.
change
You
the
still
script.
you
Yeah,
still have time.
or
Exactly.
the ball is
Yeah.
Yes, the ball is in your court. Well, Cephas, there are also other issues, that are in the public domain. These days, if you notice, be it in Europe or in Africa, betting houses are now sponsoring teams, which in my view, it looks like it's a conflict of interest and it's opening up to manipulation. I mean, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts?
I don't know how much influence those betting houses have on teams. I don't know
Mm,
because it takes a lot to manipulate a match. It's like for example, if you say a player is going to get a red card, you have to really convince
mm,
a player like you have to get a red card, you have to do something crazy. It takes a lot for him to be like on it. What I know is that a player can be influenced by his own friends or his own family, not really by those big corporates. You know, I remember back in the day where the betting was not yet big. It was just starting. I think maybe it was there, but we were not really into it. There will be things called sport betting, sport fixing, something like that, where it will be like this team is going to get first throw in. You know, it will be so small where you are just
Gotcha.
told like when we get the ball from kickoff, kick it out. So it will be you are told about it as if it's a tactical move. Like you put it out and then we go to press the other team,
Mm.
not knowing that there is money on that thing. So it's really
There
the
is money
small,
involved.
just a
Yeah.
tiny detail before. But for nowadays, I'm not sure. But I
Mm.
know it's difficult to manipulate matches.
Yeah, but I think it's something that FIFA should look into because I mean, like, if you're a betting house and you sponsor, let's say the two teams that are playing each other, I mean, in my view, I'm not saying I'm correct, but I stand to be corrected on that one. But I think it'll be easy for the betting house to
So how
to
can they
to
manipulate
manipulate
it?
that way.
Give me an example. Let's say it's a Liverpool versus Arsenal. They've got the same sponsor. How do they go about it?
Okay, so you just call
Yeah.
Liverpool, like I
Liverpool,
mean,
who? You have to understand
since
Liverpool's there's the executive and there's the playing team and there's the technical team. So who do you call?
yeah, so you get in touch if you can
The
get in
manager.
touch with the
Yeah.
manager or player
Yeah.
or player,
Yeah.
yeah, like a defender and a goalkeeper,
And then you say,
you know,
yes.
according to the
And
odds
then you
that,
say, let's
sorry,
say which kind of odds. Say Arsenal has to score.
yeah, you say like at least you need to let two goals in, then maybe defender, because the defender is easy. You just say you need to create a penalty. Let's say in
But then,
the
yeah,
60th
that is,
minute.
then you're saying something like that. It means the other team has to make the attack at that given moment. You have to make the tackle. You have to make sure you are the one defending at that given
Yeah.
moment. And it's not easy, really, because when you are defending, it's also not, you don't defend in isolation. You defend as a group. So it means you have to tell the whole team to
Yeah.
say, at this moment, do it. If that happens,
Mm.
you are going to be caught. Look at the Asia Gate where that involved the Zim Warriors. It was easy to be caught because it's so clear. Once you do that, where you approach almost the whole team, you can see that, okay, this is not okay. But like I said, the small details where you can say, like now the West Ham player, Lucas Paqueta, is now facing a difficult time in his career because he got himself yellow cards. And then if you look at the yellow cards, you can really say like, okay, this was not a correct yellow card. It's because his kind of family was playing things like that, his family and friends. So it's those kind of things where you can say, okay, Cephas, you are playing. I'm going to bet that you are going to shoot at goal. Shoot at goal. Then I will force myself. I know that Coach Donald put so much money on me to shoot at goal. Then you see me shooting from wherever angle so that I know. You see, those kind of things. But to say the whole corporate is going to influence things, it's a long shot.
Mm. Yeah, so if you say so, Cephas, because my worry was like, if betting houses are now sponsoring the teams, then that can be open to manipulation. But if you're saying the
Yeah,
systems are tight, because me, I'm someone who
yeah,
listens
yeah,
when people speak. When people say something, I listen, I digest it. Yeah. So what you're saying, Cephas, is it's making sense that the systems are tight and they cannot be manipulated easily like
yeah,
that, which is good for the sport because at the end of the day we don't want manipulation in the sport. That would
yeah,
defeat the purpose
yeah.
of sport. Yes. So yeah. Hey, and the match against Benin, how was it for you? Warriors versus Benin, like were you impressed by the squad that played? What do you think should
I
change
think
from the squad?
early in the first half, I was not impressed because they tried too much to just play the ball too much from the at the back, not from the back. They were playing it at the back where it was too much passing, left back, center back, goalkeeper, right back, bring it back. It was just like that. That's how we ended up having that first mistake because it was more of let's just play it around. Then after that, I think there was a bit more urgency where the ball was being played a bit faster in midfield. And then midfield players were doing their things. I think I was impressed with the whole midfield setup, how doing his thing, carrying the ball, showing the confidence that he's playing with for the past 3 years from France and now in England. And also showing his passing range. It was good, you know.
Yeah. Also, from my observation, probably the reason why they were like knocking the ball much at the back is because Benin, they have a tendency. If you watch most of their game, they have a
Okay.
tendency of defending
Yeah.
deep. They go way down to defend.
To
They
come, yeah.
they wanted them to come, yeah, which makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
Like you lure them making passes, then they come. But our problem maybe that I think maybe going forward, Michael Nice can try to. We need someone
Yeah.
like Jordan, right? He's good, so we need to encourage when it's like that,
Yeah.
someone to
Yeah. Yeah.
penetrate with the ball, dribbling.
That's
Then
what
we
I
leave
meant.
those short passes.
You need to make those
No,
passes
yeah,
early in midfield, and then you take it from there. The moment you pass it around at the
mm,
back, bam, in midfield, and then the midfielders can take over now and change the tempo of the game. We've got so much quality going forward with the players that we have.
yeah,
We can hit a lot of teams.
exactly. And Musona, like, was Musona playing behind the
I
strikers,
think
or
he
he was
he
playing?
was more of a number 10, playing in front of Marshall and Andy. So he was just behind the things.
Yeah, because I think he is more effective if they can play him as the target.
What you have to understand is that it's now years that he last played as a target man.
Mm,
Yeah, so
as the
those kind of
target,
things
yeah.
do have an effect on players. That's what I've seen sometimes. Especially, I was going to talk about it later on in the
Mm,
program, but now because we are there, like our guys who are playing now in front of our defense, that is ND and Marshall. Sometimes
mm,
at their clubs they are not playing in that position, so sometimes you can see it that there is a bit of a,
mm.
how can I say, a lapse in concentration of what's need to be done in that particular position, because you spend a long time not playing in that position, and then when you come to the Warriors, you have to adjust. So sometimes it does have an effect.
He does have, I understand what you're saying, Cephas. But looking at the qualities of Musona, like from that goal, not many players in the Warriors setup
Yeah,
can do what he does when he's in the box. You understand that you get a ball before you even try to control the ball. Already head up for vision to see the space, then shoot. You understand? You see, yeah. So in that moment, so that's why I was saying, like, I, I know
yeah,
probably from his club, he hasn't been playing that position, but like he's one of the few that I know that have got that quality. So to feed him the balls and make him run and do that, that can bring more results to us, because I'm taking also into consideration his age. He's no longer that good with dribbling like what the other youngsters can do now. Remember, like I'll give you another example how they did with Ronaldo at Real Madrid when they realized he's no longer the CR7 who could run along the wing like what he used to do. And they now just put him there. Then yeah, he just do the tap-ins
yeah.
and
But
that's it. We
I think
we,
with
we get the
knowledge
results.
has different qualities. He's a guy that you want him on the ball. He can influence the match. So if he's as a target man, the number 9, if you look at all the teams, the player with the least touches in a team is the number 9, is the central striker of a team. So because he's involved once in a while, that's not what you want with knowledge. You want him to be involved each and every time, because he's got that quality with the ball. Who he can pick out the pass, he can get his teammates playing. So for me, I prefer him where he was playing.
I hear you, though
Yeah,
I differ, but you making sense, like because you
yeah.
attributing some of his qualities. But with me, Cephas, if I feel like the player now also age and is like no longer the knowledge that we used to know, me, I will just put that player in the box and he's the target and that's it. Yeah. But our defense, Cephas, hey, I was not impressed. I was not impressed because like looking at our I don't know what you make of that. When we say we congest the central corridor, in the box, no striker should be able to score. We should strip off the opponent's, I mean, like possession, then we start moving forward. Like I don't understand why those are 5 or 4 guys in the box, and yet those guys can find space to shoot. What
You
do you
have to
say of that?
understand that each and every match that we have played under Nice, I think, if I'm correct, we have not played with the same back four. It's it's a new back for each and every time. So you are trying to understand each other each and every time, and you don't have that much time to work together. So it does if affect how you are playing, because as a defense you have to create that chemistry. That's the most important thing. You have to move without thinking that what is the guy next to me going to do. You know that, okay, my left back is there, I'm there, that one definitely is there. You keep your line, you keep your spaces tight. But at this given moment, it's always like you kind of doubt each other, because that's the first time you are playing with each other again, you know. Because if you look at the second goal of Benin, the lines that we had as a defender, it was not really, we were not in the same line. It comes from the thing of, okay, I press, are my guys moving with me, or do I have to stay? Things like that. That's how they created the 1-2 that took us out.
Yeah, yeah. And also, again, because I remember
Yeah.
that ball went to the flank, then it
Yeah.
was brought back in the box. This guy beat up. But we had our own player who is watching, who is observing play, but then he allows a Benin player in front of him. And it's in the central corridor there where you need to go hard and make sure that that player is not in a position to receive even the ball. You understand? So you take him out of the attacking equation. But like, so lack of concentration and also that ability not to be able to press fully and win possession costed
That
us
second goal.
costed us on that day. Yes, yes. And also goalkeeping, like ball distribution. I think like our keeper is a very good keeper. Mistakes do happen, but I was observing him like whenever he's resetting the ball, it was 50-50. At times we'll be able to keep possession or we lose possession. It's not someone that you say when he has got the ball and he distributes it, you're guaranteed of us keeping possession, which is something that I feel like he
I
needs
mean, that is
to work on.
also the other problem, is that we have to understand that he made a mistake early in the game with the passing. So after that, it becomes not easy for him to start to try to pick up the good passes. It's just now a matter of putting the balls in the good areas rather than trying to make the good pass. So on that one, I understand him that it's a positive thing from him to stay in that mindset after making a mistake. I liked that from him, that he did not let it affect his game. He kept on trying to always ask the ball
Yeah,
and
yeah, 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 yeah.
keep
He
on
kept
playing.
on.
It was good of him.
But also like the way that the blunder happened, it showed that he's not
No, I think
comfortable with the ball because like
I
he
beg to
received
differ.
a pass.
If he's not comfortable with the ball, he's not going to try to attempt that pass over the striker. It shows how comfortable he is with the ball. It shows how confident he is with the ball, that he tried to put it over the striker like he's not doing anything. He was so calm about it. So credit to him for attempting that.
I know, I know. No, Cephas, we know that there was like a lack of tactical awareness there, like to say, I don't know, technical, tactical, both combined, because you received a pass, obvious you need outside, control with the outside foot, moving away from the opponent,
I
then
think he was just
you give
complacent,
it.
but from looking at him, it's something that he can do, but he was just a bit complacent. The good thing is it's something that you learn from and you move on. Yeah.
No, no, it's fine. He's a good goalkeeper. We don't, yeah, we don't want a situation where if one makes a mistake, then for life
I
we
think
keep
I think
holding,
this has been
that player.
our biggest problem over the years as Zimbabweans. Our goalkeepers, really, we destroy them. Once a goalkeeper makes one mistake, he's out.
We
People
do, we
don't want
do.
to see him again. You can look at the years of, if you talk about, how do you say, Sibanda from 1991. Sorry, his first name just went out of my head. He made a mistake against Congo. People still remember him because of that. They forget the good things he have done over his career. You go on, maybe sometimes you say Mzondi Wamgadza, people will be like, but look at the goal he conceded against South Africa. You can go on and
Yeah,
on. You'll be like, uh, how do you say, the Highlanders goalkeeper, Ariel Sibanda. People are like, yeah, but he was destroyed by Manucho. He was never back in the national team. Things like that. Chipezeze, All the goalkeepers.
I know, I know. I remember Leslie Muzo. Whenever he's in the team, my dad will say,
So
"Are
that's
we
the
going to
thing is,
lose?"
yeah.
Because because the
Sometimes
one
it's not.
mistake
Sometimes it's
that
not
that
even a
he
mistake. It's just us from a sitting position thinking, oh, I should have done better. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Because like you can't make it a mistake on the goalkeeper when it was
exactly,
the striker's
exactly. Yeah,
brilliance. I mean, like, yeah, so striker's brilliance, it can't be a goalkeeper's mistake. Yeah. So overall, who can you say was outstanding for you in the Warriors squad?
I liked a lot of the players. I think you look at Jalai making his debut at that yeah at that
Jala was good.
stage
Yeah.
and playing a game like that, quite impressive. Marshall showed why he's in the Premier League. How do you say, young
Yes, yes.
Tawanda Chirewa came in, made an impact. I think if I have to be fair, I feel from the whole team, I feel sorry for Prince Dube. When he was in the team, he did not get that much service.
Mm.
In as much as he tried, he did not get much. So, but for the rest of the team, I think they did well to 2-0 down, keep your heads up, show that you can still play. That was impressive.
And it's also good that these World Cup qualifiers, they are coming at a time where we have qualified for the AFCON and we need that. Now, this is the time to build combination for the coach also to start his team selection
Yeah,
for the
it's
AFCON.
we can say like that, but we still need the points because it will have an effect on the seeding for the AFCON games. So we still need to win our games. We still need to collect the points. We have to find a balance between trying new combinations and getting the necessary points.
I see, I see, I see, I see. Because like what I always say, now it's high time as if as we go to the Nations Cup, then progress to the next round, instead of us like,
Yeah,
celebrating just being there, the AFCON, like what we did in 2004. Because like to be honest, like when you look at the previous AFCONs, like you guys when you were still playing
yeah,
when you play your last games, you show that
yeah.
we can
That
play
is
in the
true.
final
That is true.
because what yeah one of the teams that you play will go all the way to the quarterfinals
I
and
think
you
the
would have beat
biggest
that team.
problem
Yeah,
that we have had over the years is that, like you mentioned, we go to the AFCON to participate. That's about it. Like we are going to the AFCON. We have
Mm,
never gone there with the mentality of we can go there and do something. Because if I remember well, in
mm.
2006, when we lost our second game, Gilbert Mshangashike said something in the Timbers. People laughed in a way of just joking, but we knew that he was saying the truth. He said, guys, I don't want a situation where we go back home without a win, you know. And then some guys laughed and said, just to say, Giza, just to say, you don't want to go back home without playing a match because the first two games he did not play. But then, after those words, you can see that our concentration levels really changed to say, yeah, we want to win this game. So you start, and then we went on to win the game, and then you
Yeah.
start to think like, what if we had played the two games with that mentality from the word go to say, we want to, even you go in the first game, you
Mm,
say,
mm.
we don't want to lose the first game. And then you give it your all. So I think if you go to a tournament with a target, a good target, you are going to do better. But most times it's just we just go there and say, yeah, we are just there.
Yeah, yeah. We just there to make numbers. And also the way we commit ourselves, like, because I can't say there won't be intensity. There was intensity like in your games, but like there was more
Yeah,
intensity towards the end
that's
as
true.
compared to, I mean, to the first games. Yeah. So it's something that if the guys are watching, they need to step up on that. Now the next game, Cephas, is gonna be interesting because you see the kind of play that we exhibited against Benin. That's the kind
Yeah,
of play that Nigeria plays.
yeah,
Nigeria, they're good with the ball. If you guys are defending back, they knock the ball. But
yeah.
Nigeria, they penetrate. They do penetrate in that defensive area. So just referring to our defense, we need to step up in that if we are to come with a point against Nigeria
I think
or a win.
after what happened in Benin, the coaches would have looked at it and also looked at how Nigeria played their game against Rwanda. I saw one of their goals was from a set piece. So it's something also that we have to work on dealing with set pieces, because Nigeria do have good guys in the box on set pieces. So we have to watch out for that.
Yeah.
But for the rest, we've got players playing with confidence. I hope they can handle.
You mentioned set pieces, Cephas. I was not impressed with the way we were taking set pieces
Yeah.
when we played Benin. We need to improve on that because we didn't create more like expected goals from set pieces. So we should like work on that. Our opponents should be scared to give us set pieces. They should try by all means to avoid making us have those set pieces. So it's something that I feel. What do you say along those lines on set pieces?
We are very, very unfortunate to have the kind of guys we have in our team. I think the biggest guy in our team has to be Marshall Munetsi.
Mm.
And the rest of the guys, I don't see anyone who is dominant in the air. So it's something that we have to deal with, to find ways not to put the ball in the box for a high ball, because I don't think we have that ability to challenge for those kind of balls. So we have to work hard on a lot of variations for set pieces.
Yeah, it's something that we need to work on. Then me, say first, I was impressed by Jordan Zemora. You know,
Yeah,
that boy, to me, he was the most outstanding player. The guys played well, but Zemura, one thing I liked about Zemura, it's hard to take the ball away from Zemura. Once Zemura is in possession of the ball, the only way
yeah.
you can take the ball from him is to bring him down. And he's like,
He-
yeah, he has got that intelligence also, if you notice,
yeah, yeah,
to put the ball in space.
yeah.
Zemura,
He's good.
that's one thing I appreciate about him. Ball control, excellent. You can't take that away from. He plays as a right back. What position was he playing
Oh,
against Benin?
he usually
He's a left back.
he's in Italy. He's playing as a left back, like really left full back. But in Bournemouth, he played as a left wing, like attacking left wing back,
Okay.
attacking. So he
Attack.
does have that attacking mentality. And
Mm,
then during the second half against Benin, he was more on the right coming. So it's something that the coaches have to look at to see how can we utilize him more in those attacking areas, because I think in the whole tenure of Mike O'Neill's, Demora has the most assists in the team. So
mm.
we have to see how we can utilize him more, especially in the attacking third.
Yeah. There was like one game. I will not mention the name of the guy who was there, but I used to. I don't know. I used to curse everyone when Zemura was on the bench, and like we played Malawi, we played another team. I can't remember. And whenever he came from the bench, he would change things. But then the next
Yeah,
game, you see him on the bench again. I
yeah,
said
but
I'm not gonna mention.
that is the unfortunate thing that we have, as a country, that sometimes when we have that FIFA slot for friendlies, we don't utilize it,
Mm,
and then when it comes to qualifiers, it's like now the past game against Benin was on a Thursday, and all the players got in camp maybe Monday evening, so we've got Tuesday and Wednesday to
mm,
train together.
mm.
Those are the 2 days that the coach has to look at his team. So sometimes a coach will just have his team in his head from the word go, to say, okay, this and this and this are going to play. They don't have really enough time to work with the players. Yeah.
Yeah, but
So we
see,
need to.
but the flexibility, see, like you have got your plan, but then you notice something. You notice 10 minutes from the plan, you notice something that can change the entire plan. So, which means the next game, you need to change that. Because, I mean, you
Yeah,
put a player, yeah, you put a player and you see like he's changing things in the last 10 minutes. Then you can start with him. Yeah. So,
Yeah, you can start with him, but at the end of the day, also, it's not about only him in isolation. It's about the whole group. Okay, he is there. What about the other 10 players that we have? Does he fit in what we have already? Because you get my point, because sometimes it can be like, okay, it's a Tawanda, it's Maswanise on the left. He's playing good, like playing so good. And then in the 80th minute, you substitute him. And then the guy who comes the last 10 minutes also plays good. So the next game, how are you going to do it?
Oh,
Do
yeah,
you
yeah.
start with the guy who gave you 10 good minutes, or you start with the guy who gave you 80 good minutes? So you
It's a
see,
good man.
I understand your point of looking for the balance, but my point was with the national team, they don't have much time to work on different combinations, work on different things. Yeah.
I see. And also, basing on the individual, some players might be good at changing the game. And when you put
Yeah.
them the entire game, they might be
Yeah,
useless.
exactly. It will
Yeah,
be like, okay, what's happening here?
yeah, yeah.
You know, it's also tricky, like the situation of Jordan Zemura. You know, like now we are all talking about how good he is going forward, how good he is going forward. If it's another game he doesn't perform well, everyone is going to be like, why is the coach playing him up front? He is a left back. He should be. That's why he's struggling. You know, it's things
Yeah.
like that.
But the good thing, Cephas, with modern football now, whether you're right back, you left back, you attacking most of the time.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
the
yes.
only difference is that when you're right back or left back, you've got more space to move. Yes, and so you should have endurance as well as pass, as well as the skill also to dribble. Yeah, which I feel like that young boy he has it all, and it's a blessing
He is, yeah,
for
that's
Zimbabwe.
true. That's why he played in the Premier League.
Well, so what are your recommendations now for the upcoming game before we close, Cephas?
Well, for me, I can't say much because the coaches know better. They work with the guys each and every time. So I just like to support those who are selected by the coaches, and then from there, after the matches, then we look at things. We try to be partial in what we say. We look at it from a very neutral point, not to be just like I just want to criticize. You have to, yeah, to be neutral. You know.
And also, before we leave Cephas, I want to give credit to the fans. I've never seen Zimbabwean fans not giving up. I
Yeah,
think
that's true.
it's for the first time. I don't know whether it was the excitement of being in Durban, away from Harare, but I've never seen a scenario whereby we're trailing behind and the supporters are on
Yeah,
fire
they keep on
non-stop.
supporting.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do have those who attended the match in Durban, but also those who watched the match online or something like that. The interest uh, from fans in the Warriors team is just amazing. Now you
Mm.
can imagine if the matches are going to be played at home,
You see?
it will be
It'll be
great, really.
massive. It will be massive. So we're just appealing to the Minister of Sport, please. We
Yeah,
really need to play our home matches at home now because
at
you
home. Yeah,
saw,
that's true.
yeah, you saw the momentum, you saw
Yeah.
the vibe that was there in at Moses Mabhida. Even in Nigeria, I believe we'll be having more of our fans going, traveling to Nigeria.
We have fans traveling to Nigeria and the Zimbabweans, we are now all over the world. There will be Zimbabweans based in Nigeria.
Yeah. We'll be having Ogusu soup at halftime. No, Cephas, I do appreciate you. Thank you for coming to the podcast.
Coach Donald, it's always a pleasure to sit down and to have these chats with you. Thank you for having me once again.
I know, but like it pains me when like people start writing. They always take your points against my points because probably you played for their clubs. So
No, I think it's because they see that I'm not saying it from justice, saying it is really from a neutral point to be like, okay, we look at the bigger picture and stuff and stuff.
oh, I see. I'm not
Yeah.
offended. I respect that.
Uh, imagine if I had also gone on to play for Highlanders, then it would
Yay!
have been crazy. Yeah, playing for
Now
KFC Dynamos Highlanders then.
calendars with the. I think before you retired, you should have just one season
If
with both
if the truth be told, yeah, I really wanted to go and play for
play.
Highlanders at one moment.
Wow.
Yeah,
So that you complete
it's
the trial.
amazing, because the one thing I can say, Highlanders fans, they come to support their team. Sometimes other teams they come to watch their team. That's different. Highlanders fans come to support their teams. It's like from the beginning, you come in during warm up, singing, they are going crazy. You are leading, they are singing, they are going crazy. They just love their team, something like
Yeah,
that. You
yeah,
just want
yeah, yeah.
to be part of.
Yeah, because like I know BF is like it's like in St. James Park
Yeah,
when you're in
in
England.
a yeah, yeah,
Because the vibe there,
yeah,
I think
yeah.
the stadium will be shaking literally.
It does, it does.
Now I like that, trust me. I like that culture. And I think as a nation, we should keep it up. It's a tradition,
That's
so
true. That's true.
it should be
Yeah,
maintained. Cephas,
that's
thank you again for coming to the program.
true.
Okay. Yeah, viewers, we have come to the end of our program. Join us next week. I'll be with Cephas again next Saturday as we discuss, football issues. And hopefully, our Warriors, we just wish you the best on your match against Nigeria. My prediction is 2-0. We're going to beat Nigeria 2-0. Okay, we'll talk after that. Thank you so much, guys. Enjoy your day.